With a chain on your brain, with niggas no playing. King Alfred plan, vaporize, no bodies laying. Got nations reclaiming republics back. Constitution enforcing on the demo acts colored. Can't be a verse, I'm a more first. Won't claim to be ham and catch that pork curse. Following black power that lost debates. Slap Doc for having a lawyer, set the record straight. The Moors are back, burn your Nuwapian race. Pushing Malachi York with no Ellis fake. Allah's temple of Islam, perpetrate the fraud. Push Drew to the back, uplifting fraud. Claiming to be Lord, get thrown overboard. Dirty Moors talk, I walk cause y'all overboard. Got sisters heads under, not over swords. Camera clutch minds with hope and thoughts. Iron sheet knowing, all niggas believing. Candyman was the master, not Steven. Odds aren't in their favor and not even. Rappers think they MCs are not even. A lot of you folks are conscious jokes. Moors rich CC, The Hague and retiring popes. Send me a message, I don't reply to pokes. I live the prophet lessons, I don't parrot his quotes. Slavery been overshadowed, still wearing the yokes. No gold or silver or land is back in the notes. IRS, CRA demand you to pay tax with no conscience when they're not Congress. Falling for bomb threats and other nonsense. Like rappers' lives, they exercise only onsets. This is physicist, not Genesis. 4 quadrants around 7 are elements. This is physicist, not Genesis. Moorish MC, magnetic resonance. This is physicist, not Genesis. Mike imagination heights, born Pegasus. This is physicist, not Genesis. Moorish MC of great eminence. Papers and cars can't save minds enslaved. Just do like Cassius Clay. Correct your names like Yasin and Spraga. Adopt El or Bay. Grow up, start guarding, put the guard away. Prophet Drew Ali said it all. The most I can say you won't understand. Ask Victoria, Monet, ask Nas. He said we thought like the colonists. And Noble Drew Ali started dropping that consciousness, which means he knew he was no nigga and saw things clearer when he wiped off his mirror. I spit almorical rhymes. Who's iller? Genuine without the Miller draft. Who's chiller? Keys drop, but some pull locks to open them. Waiting on walkers on water and floating men. Time to get awakened. No sleeping or waiting. Acting like you're sedated for operations. Bush Kush got mind shrinking, not dilating. Hear rappers' tracks, I get sick like smelling bacon. If I'm shopping, I'm copping broccoli. Being a Moor saying you're black is a mockery. No death threats or suits will be stopping me. Sight beyond sight, no obstacles blocking me. Stand strong and firm, nothing propping me. Iron chic hip-hop pills, start popping me. This is physicist, not Genesis. 4 quadrants around 7 are elements. This is physicist, not Genesis. Moorish MC, magnetic resonance. This is physicist, not Genesis. Mike imagination heights, born Pegasus. This is physicist, not Genesis. Moorish MC of great eminence.
I'm a mothership seed. Welcome to the board meeting year round. 4 seasons, I'll gather here for a reason. So let's throw the gods away. No idol worship consecrated. There's something wrong when the created God is not your favorite in your congregation. I'll never be a Christian mourn. Propagating the faith, you could be a victim of swords. I walk over the water, emotional tyranny. Say the B is for the spelling or the YouTube parodies. Apparently, we have to draw from scratch and see our artwork. Let's get it together, guys. Draw the image of chakra. With the image of our people with businesses and commerce. Muhammad and our face and Drew Ali begins to conquer. Make us the capital, we be Chicago, it's decided. Moorish Science Temple of America business license. The heater has to leave, so I fill up the water for him, fluoride in it. With my music playing, oh the horror. Praise the Father God, Allah, Yahweh, Eloah. Broken the yoke of our burden and we're bound to get closer to the disclosure of the truth. Unlocking the hypnosis of the devils that had cultures to play the game with exposure. I'm with the harmonies of life, a mystical encounter. And my person what they want with the contract on the counter. A monster mother was territories, no pilgrimage. Children with the Moors of Canaanland Moors Incompetence.
This is physicist, not Genesis. 4 quadrants around 7 are elements. This is physicist, not Genesis. Moorish MC, magnetic resonance. This is physicist, not Genesis. Mike imagination heights, born Pegasus. This is physicist, not Genesis. Moorish MC of great eminence.
Huh? Who my nemesis? Well, there's evidence that they're trying to erase all of the remnants of my DNA. Can't trace my inheritance back to my Moorish ancestors who were prevalent on my premises. Yo, there's residents, puppets on strings. We call them the surrogates. Kiss the ring of a prince. We setting precedents. Kiss the ring, I'm a prince. I'm setting precedents. Pay homage to a king. Never knows heaven sent. Sideline, watch us do a thing, no time for hesitance. We the ancients that descend, don't care about being relevant. And ever since the genes of ISIS, authority from the womb tombs. Always been priceless, so it's fitting that this tunes cough as ISIS, most waiting on the tomb. To make things righteous, I'm aligning with the moon, planning my light quest. Geminian from June, made in her likeness. I was fed with a spoon before I could bite it. Yeah, you thought you were in tune, your mind ain't right yet. Cauldron and broom, waiting on flight deck, out the way, make room. This is our mic check, taking the fumes, you might even like it.
This is physicist, not Genesis. 4 quadrants around 7 are elements. This is physicist, not Genesis. Moorish MC, magnetic resonance. This is physicist, not Genesis. Mike imagination heights, born Pegasus. This is physicist, not Genesis. Moorish MC of great eminence. Islam, Iron Sheik 5. You know what I'm saying? Iron Sheik 5, willofallaw.com. There's 4 more before that. And we got the Al Moroccan album coming soon, the album. So prep for that. For the Moors who got their early ones in, Islam. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? The cover's done now. So it's about to be on with the album soon. Just got the reminder text. Tonight, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. At the new number, 319-527-6751. MHHS Eyes Wide Open Blog Talk Radio. So tune in. Learn something, because people really want you to be stupid right now. People really want you to be incompetent. People really want the people to be incompetent. So when we say that people are COINTELPRO and people are agents and stuff like that, it's because of their actions why we say that. It's because of the way that they speak and the things that they do why we say that. You know, FBI hiring those incompetent people there. For what? These are individuals, because remember, infiltration happened before Noble Drew Ali even passed form. So the influence of the infiltrators after Noble Drew Ali passed form was 90% of what people know today, Moorish Science Temple of America and all that. And then they have their heads, leaders, or whatever that were taught by somebody who was taught by somebody, but it was taught somebody, but taught somebody, but it was taught by somebody, but that was an infiltrator. And now you have, like we spoke about on Morisco TV, when I called in and told them about the elephant in the room. Now you hear them talking about elephant in rooms and stuff when they're doing their stuff. Right? The fact that there was a sellout. And not only that there was a sellout, but the people, the remnants of the people that sold out are still around today. In new people. That people think that, you know, because they say Islam and they have intelligent tones and stuff like that, that they're not down with the fraud that destroyed this. And how did they destroy this? How did they corral? How did they corral the people into avoiding Noble Drew Ali's teachings for what some guy said who's in the seat. The point was to bring down the volume, point of the infiltration, bring down the volume of the civic activity, that they would read that in Noble Drew Ali's writings that this was a civic organization. Something cannot, and if you can find me an example, please find me an example, put it on the record. Something that's civic can't not be that. Something that's civic, in this case an organization that was founded by somebody, and this individual made this organization civic before it was anything else. So if he comes and says, you know what, we're going to change this to religion, the civic is still there. The civic does not disappear because the name changed. It's just the name. Names change. Kentucky Fried Chicken became KFC. Names change. They're no big deal. They still sell chicken and stuff like that. They still do the chicken stuff even though they're not saying that they're selling chicken. But so it's just a name change. And the reason why there was a name change is because back then people refused to study. So because they refused to study, he dumbed it down further for them into making the organization Moorish Science Temple of America religious. For these dummies who don't want to study. And then that got infiltrated. Not the civic stuff. The religious stuff got infiltrated. The religious perspective of the Moorish Science Temple of America is what got infiltrated, not the civic part. Because remember, these people are dummies. They don't study. And the concept was keep it religious. Just keep it religious. Holy Quran, what Noble Drew Ali brought, honors to Noble Drew Ali, Negro spirituals, just put Noble Drew Ali's name in it, and we're good. But the whole point of that was for them to grow from there into the civics. Because it makes absolutely no sense that you're going to say you're a national. You're going to say that you're a nation. The person who founded your stuff said that you're a nation. But then you're not acting like you're a nation. You're acting like somebody owes you something. You're acting like you have to compromise because somebody's in charge. When the man brought a civic organization for the people, and he told the people that they should study 3 times. But they don't want people doing that. They want people to think religion. And don't get confused and think that when Noble Drew Ali said religion, he meant sing hymns and stuff like that. That's not what he was talking about when he said religion. When he said religion, he wasn't talking about your fez is religious headwear like the Jews and like the Muslims, and that is not what he brought. That's the belief step for dummies. But you're supposed to pass that and be into fruition. That's just what it's supposed to be. But that's only going to happen if you study. So, we're going to go to a guide for learners and teachers. For all the people, right? Because, you know, I come from a background of mother who owned, operated, founded her own daycare in Tobago. And my dad who, teacher, math, geography, English, all this stuff. Right? So this is just stuff, right, that, because Family of Teachers, copyright 1975 by Malcolm S. Knowles. Self-directed learning. Right, these are the reasons why people can't talk to me about certain stuff, because I'm not no dummy. Sorry. I know you're used to dummies. I know you're used to people just going with the program because they have a fez on and because they have a nationality card and say Islam, but I don't do go with the program. I can't. I can't do go with the program, especially when I know better. Especially when we can go check. We can go check the additional laws, 101 questionnaire, additional laws, and tell you that you better use your 5 senses. I'm supposed to be a dummy, right? And we'll address that after. Inquiry project number 1. Why self-directed learning? It is a tragic fact that most of us only know how to be taught. We haven't learned how to learn. Remember, this is 1975. Why is this a tragic fact? There are both immediate and long-term reasons. One immediate reason is that there is a convincing evidence that people who take the initiative in learning, proactive learners, learn more things and learn better than do people who sit at the feet of teachers passively waiting to be taught, reactive learners. That's how you put it on the record. You know what I mean? You know, people want to play. Now they're playing Dangle RV Bay and Dangle Taj Tariq Bay, Bay's name. Like they have followers of people or something like that. You nobody following them. You nobody following no Rasmaria V Bay and following no Taj Tariq Bay. Who got time to follow them? You know, they give us some excellent reference points for us to go learn and study. Why? Because they don't want nobody sitting at their goddamn feet calling them every hour talking about what do I do and how do I do this and that. When you got 500 DVDs, thousands of classes telling you how. But some people are reactive learners. And this is the concept that has been created by some Moorish Science Temple of Americas. To the members. This is what they're doing to the members of the temples. They're making them reactive learners. They're making them sit at this guy's feet because he says he's Grand Sheik and all that stuff. You need to respect this position. These guys are infiltrators. What are you talking about? Respect what position of what? These guys infiltrated and took over the seats. Same thing what U.S. is right now. A legitimate Republican form of government for Europeans to escape whatever tyranny they were under, for them to live in peace and harmony. And then somebody came, infiltrated that, and then today people are looking at them like, yeah, go vote. Yeah, go get licenses from those guys. Go get cards, put Bay on a card from those guys who infiltrated the original Republican form of government. Yeah, people are going to play all they want to play. The more science temples that are legitimate and real and all that stuff, they're going to be dealing with civics, they're going to be dealing with religion, and they're going to be making sure that the people go study. And don't be coming up here at my feet talking about Grand Sheik this and Grand Sheik that. That means you're a reactive learner. If you're a reactive learner, then you're not even supposed to be talking about exercising any rights. Just be a passive, because no Jolly addressed this, right? The reactive learners are the passive Moors. The Moors who don't do nothing. Everybody has to give them an answer for something. They're not going and getting. Right? That stagnation was caused by the infiltration, making people reactive, making people submissive Moors. Now you got your fez on. Anybody in the world who sees an active Moor with their fez on, it's automatic. Go talk to them, find out something, say hi, wave, stare, whatever. And then you have all these people who also have that right to be themselves. They're in the temple praying. That people have to look through the mailbox to see if anybody's in there. They want to know how come stuff is hard and talk crazy about, oh, well, if I exercise my rights, then they're going to arrest me and talking stupid. Like Noble Drew Ali never got arrested. Like Noble Drew Ali never sat in a jail cell. Why? Because he was being himself. Right? So again, one immediate reason is that there are convincing evidence that people who take the initiative in learning, proactive learners, learn more things and learn better than do the people who sit at the feet of teachers passively waiting to be taught, reactive learners. And oh yeah, if you think that this is some BS or whatever like that, go talk to Sister Selah Ali Bey, who's a teacher, and she can verify whether this is some BS or whether this is right and exact. Because remember, this is from 75, so this was, during a time when, you were getting a little bit of, education. You know what I mean? Like they say, go check that test or whatever, the grade 8 test from however long ago it was, and you fail. Grade 8 test. Everybody today would fail. 0. Grade 8. Right? So there's been a dumbing down. Why? Make people not learn. Let them be taught. And then once they say they consent, when they consent to being taught and not learn, then you create blockages. You create blockages in your light that will make the angels not see you. Because angels are only attracted to light. We're still dealing with proactive and reactive and all that stuff. Even though we're talking about angels and all that. Oh yeah, and then this is right in line with Noble Drew Ali, because he talked about angels, because he's one. They enter into learning more purposefully and with greater motivation. They also tend to retain and make use of what they learn better and longer than do reactive learners. So Islam, to any Moorish American out there that stood up on their birthright, used what they learned, right, and had a negative or favorable outcome. Because what is the purpose of being taught or learning and not using what you acquire? The purpose of learning, the point of making sure you go study, is for yourself to have these reference points. And you know, with Allah's will, when you see everybody as your brother and stuff like that, you know, you share the wealth. We're not talking about fiat and bonds on birth certificates and stuff like that. We're talking about knowledge. Then the more knowledge you acquire, the more you vibrate on the frequency of your ancient foremothers and forefathers, the more your light shines, the more angels will come and help you. No matter what's going on, angel got you. Just because. They also tend to retain and make use of what they learn. So, you acquiring all this information, right? You have to empty your hand before you can receive anything else. If you don't empty your hand, then you're not getting nothing. Right? So as you get the information, you're supposed to get it out. Because if you're proactive, you're going to retain what you got, so it's not like you need to keep stuff. Whatever you got, bam, pass it on. Go to the next thing. The second immediate reason is that self-directed learning is more in tune with our natural processes of psychological development. When we are born, we are totally dependent personalities. We need parents to protect us, feed us, carry us, and make decisions for us. But as we grow and mature, we develop an increasingly deep psychological need to be independent, first, of parental control, and then later of control by teachers and other adults. An essential aspect of maturing is developing the ability to take increasing responsibility for our own lives, to become increasingly self-directing. To become increasingly self-directing. But you can't direct self if you don't know what they are. And then that's when you stop, and then you go Noble Jew Ali, go to the chapter, find what lower self, higher self is, okay, and then now you go back, because now you know what self is. Because, you know, Malcolm Knowles is not going to tell you that there's two selves, higher self and lower self, when he says self-directing. So what self are you directing? The more you acquire the right knowledge, the knowledge that's actually going to inspire you or motivate you to be active, regardless of what the outcome is going to be. Because the outcome is whatever it's going to be. It's what position are you taking after acquiring all this knowledge? Sit on it like some Alibaba and have a cave full of stuff? Or are you going to do something with what you got? Okay. Let's see what else they got up in here. Cyril O. Howell, HOULESYRIL. Continuing your education. Copyright 1964. Self-directed learning. Cyril O. Howell, in his pioneering study of continuing learners, found that they profited by 7 key principles. 1. Act as though you are certain to learn. Nothing so disturbs the beginning adult student as the nagging fear that he will not be able to learn what he would like to learn. Nothing is more reassuring than the discovery through experience that he can succeed. Adults can learn most things better than children, though it may take them longer to do so. 2. Set realistic goals and measure their accomplishment. One frequent obstacle to adult learning is that men and women, realizing that they have the full power of their strength and vigor, think that they ought to be able to learn without any effort or strain whatever. In any learning program, therefore, you must first of all be realistic about what you can achieve. Remember, we're relating all this to learning the truth about your nationality and birthrights. Right? So don't get this twisted about, continuing education. This is some teacher stuff or whatever like that. No, if you're Moorish American, you're a teacher. If you're Moorish American, you're not just Muslim, go pray. You're a teacher. So you better have the things necessary in order for you to relay this message, because if we leave it up to the people who've been relaying the message, there would be nothing called Moorish science anything, and nobody would even care. Because it'll just be another black religious crap. And that's how people see it as. And they'll fund that to millions of dollars, and you know what I mean? But that's not happening. Can't happen. Because as the heirs of this estate, we have an obligation to get this stuff back together. And that's not gonna happen by you playing Moorish Science Temple Club. Like, it's not gonna happen. Three, remember the strength of your own point of view. Your learning is strongly influenced by the point of view you bring to it. Most important of all, do not let your established values harden into such fixed beliefs that you cannot tolerate new ideas. When this happens, the process of education ceases. Now you understand why certain people are pushing the perspective, pushing the idea that people who study outside of what Noble Drew Ali brought are weird, because they have this restricted, constricted view that their established values have hardened into fixed beliefs. Fixed beliefs. Going back to the same thing that we're saying, that the whole quote-unquote religious idea that these people are presenting Moorish Science Temple of America as is really the belief stage. Why? Because that was the youngest branch of the Moorish Divine and National Movement. It was a baby. So it had to be in the realm of belief. But people kept it there. No different than the pastor knows. Go check House of Ram with Dr. Nyla. She was a pastor. She was a pastor that realized, oh, hold on a second. This is not religion. Like, religion is not this. Oh, forget this. Jump ship. Did what? Made the quote-unquote church into a learning institution. On her own. Just because she found out about her nationality and birthrights. Now the question that you have to ask is, how come she jumped ship and she still has the spot? Because that's supposed to be the church spot. That wasn't hers. You just pay tithes and stuff like that. Right? The benefit of understanding their nationality and birthrights. The benefit of realizing that everybody is a teacher. So you better get it out of your head about this guru stuff and these people playing wave Taj around like he's somebody's grand shiki guy and stuff like that. How are you going to take the guy who said, I'm not nobody's grand shiki guy, and try to make him grand shiki guy of people that study the reference points that he gives? Like I said, the actions. We you know what I mean? We know FBI is not hiring these idiots. Right? They're not going to hire them. They're not getting no checks and stuff like that when we say that they're COINTELPRO. Just like we say, they're Anti-Defamation League. They're SPLC with fezzes on and dark skin. Trying to get you to think that civic-minded Moors have taken Noble Drew Ali stuff and gone into oblivion with it. Into some unknown whatever like that, when we're supposed to be doing what we're doing. Everybody who says that they're Moorish American is supposed to be doing what we're doing. Not supposed to be playing, this is some title stuff. This is a nation. Everybody's qualified. They study. And they start, what should I study after all this studying? Oh, I'll study myself for a little while. Then they go study themselves. Which leads them into more study again, and study 50, 100 billion times, because that's what this is about. How are you going to go back to the mindset of your ancient foremothers and forefathers without studying something? Because remember, ancient foremothers and forefathers, they didn't sing hymns. They didn't sing hymns. Keep in mind, ancient foremothers and forefathers didn't sing Negro spirituals with fezzes on. Four, actively fit new ideas and new facts into context. Your greatest asset as an adult learner is the fact that your experience enables you to see relationships. When a new idea or fact is presented, you can understand it because you have background and perspective. If you can remember it because you can associate it with what you already know and therefore give it meaning. So, the people who say, I'm a Moor, and you know what I mean, this is my birthright, and you know what I mean, my birthright. And they go out there and they have an experience, positive or negative, right? That experience is gonna become a reference point of the acquired knowledge to that experience. Because once you have the experience, after that, it's either you didn't study enough or let's keep going, because that was really the outcome. You know? And then there's some Moors who go through the negative and they say, this is negative, but I could learn something here from this negative situation. Let me go back and check some stuff out or whatever. This happened to me because, you know, I said that I was a Moor and then they did whatever to me, and now forget the sulking. Just wipe the little gravel off your knee and like, because remember, you're not gonna say I'm Moor, you know, logic speaking, right? You're not gonna say I'm Moor to go do some craziness and then hide behind the fact that you're a Moor after you do craziness. Anybody doing that, anybody thinking from that perspective, anybody exercising like that, they're a goddamn idiot, and they deserve to get everything that they get. Everything that they got. If they were trying to do some BS and then hide behind Moorish nationality, Moorish American, whatever, because they did some BS, whatever they got, they deserve to get. But we know that even though they deserve to get it, the fact that the corrupt system is what's handling the matters as far as adjudication is bigger crime than anything that these people did. Right? Way bigger. The fraud that they're running right now under a democracy is bigger than anything that anybody who's in a penitentiary or whatever did. Right? Because human trafficking is international war crime. Not some code constitution stuff. That's international crime. Right? So don't get caught up in, because of a negative experience, throwing the towel on this thing about Moors or whatever. All those guys that say that they're black, they're Moors. They can call themselves black all they want. All those black power guys, they're Moors. They're Moors. They can call themselves black. It's cool, you know what I mean? That's up to them. Oh, the Nuwapian guys, yeah, they're Moors. NOI guys, they can say NOI, but they're Moors. They can play stupid with the world and whatever, all they want, but studious Moors know that they're Moors. And they're playing their self. Right? So, we got other stuff to do, but do some research on self-directed learning and any type of essays, articles, you know, books, whatever, Malcolm Knowles, because we're all out here to learn, and everybody got something for us. Oh yeah, we have some questions, but I want to address some things by this clown first, so that we can, once again, put it on the record that certain people that wear fezzes and stuff like that, they're incompetent. The fact that they don't study is evident in their speech and how they talk. Now, the people who have been running the campaigns against active Moors as far as European colonial forces, right? We know they know what we know. But because they're the occupier, they have an obligation to keep the occupation going. That's just what it is. That's their MO. Right? Some of these individuals that wear fezzes, they know what's up. Right? Some of these people talking that, exercising from a civic perspective, constitutional, dealing with rights, talking like that's wrong and that's bad. Right? There's individuals on their side who know that this is what it is. They've had past experience. But like I said, what do? They take the negative and they blow the negative up in order to deter people. In order to get people to think that because I studied from a particular website and they have a particular language that they speak on that website, when you take the information from them, they want you to agree under the guise that they got fezzes and you got turbans and they got the flag, they're the actual authority of what Noble Drew Ali taught and all that stuff. You can't listen to these other people because the stuff that they're saying is going to get you arrested and it's going to get you locked up and it's going to ruin your life and all this. All these people are part of the dumbing down, the making you sit at the feet of people and make them your leader. Trust me that Taj Street Bey doesn't have followers. Trust me that Ras Mariah V. Bey does not have followers. Trust that. They don't have followers. How do I know they don't have followers? Because they promote don't follow me. Right? So as soon as you hear the names go up by certain people, know that that's a flare. Because they're looking to get attention. And recognizing that they want to get attention, right? We're going to continually use these people as a beating stick to show people how incompetent they are. To prove to people that, like we said, there's a track record to show that we who study from Taj Street Bey and RV Bey publications, we who study from them, not follow them, we who study from them, right, have been about the work of uplifting our people. Have been about the work of uplifting our people. Right? We keep saying it. We're not new to this. We're not these new school people that y'all people see doing lectures and have shows and you think that they weren't around 5 years ago talking the BS they're talking right now. Right? And if they were, the fact that they're still taking that position 5 years later 10 years later should let you know that they have an agenda. Should let you know that they have an agenda. Right? And again, remember, there is absolutely no reactive learning when it comes to Taj Street Bay and RV Bay publications. Zero tolerance for sit at my feet and write this writ for me. Right? And even more so, I need help. You try pull that, you know what I mean, she's your guru BS with her and see what you get. Just try. Make an attempt to play this, you know, their seats and, you know, certain people have a high, that's BS. Blue fez is your birthright, just like orange fez. You know, clubs and stuff like that, join up stuff and get orange fezzes. It's not some Flintstones masonry stuff. This is birthrights. But again, the civic perspective is birthrights. The religious perspective is club. And when we say religious, right, we're qualifying that religion means to go back. So religion is historical. Just go watch some of the videos that Brother American's putting out, where he has the Bibles showing you that they know about Moors and that there's land called Moors where the Moors lived, and they have that stuff in the Bible. So religion is historical, because religion means to go back. So and what is this? This is civic and this is historical. History and law. If they're not gravitating on that, on top of the singing hymns and all that stuff, then they're playing games with your birthright. Wearing the medallions and got fezzes on and all that stuff, but they're running their little gentleman's quarterly club BS.
Salam, peace, greetings to you all. Sheik Wade L, aka Lord Abba, aka Mr. Just the Facts. The message, or the title, excuse me, of this video is a message to Taj Tariq Bey. Stop lying, beloved. Just stop lying. I don't know you. I don't know you personally. I'm not a personality worshiper. I'm not enamored by personalities at all.
No. These people are not enamored by personalities. But I swear they have a crush on Taj. I swear they have a crush on him, because for about 5 years they've been talking about him teaching wrong stuff and all that stuff. They gotta have a crush on him. You know how it is when you're in kindergarten, you like the girl, you know what I mean, push her and stuff like that, throw sand in her, you know what I mean, put gum in her hair and all that stuff because you like her? That's what these guys are on right now. They have crush on Mother Rosmariah. And opposed to them humbling themselves, you know what I mean, and just admitting that, you know what I mean, they're in love or whatever like that, they want to play stupid. Just admit it. You know what I mean? You tell me that you're not enamored by personalities, but if we go back and check the record and count how many times they said Taj Tariq Bey's name, and then most recently how much they said RV Bey's name, they must have a crush. It must be a crush. Can't be nothing else. Right? Can't be nothing else.
care about the truth and the uplifting of my people. Every time, and particularly myself, and now we have other brothers at Moorish World TV who are pointing out the falsity of your teachings, like what you have on RV Bay Publications, and showing and proving that this information that you teach, this right to travel, this whole...
Right. So keep in mind, right, Noble Drew Ali came for the nations. And Islam to Mantis Views 29, who put it on the record, little boy driving the tractor. Right? Little boy, they got licenses at 12 years old, 8 years old, they got a license. Why are they able to do that? How come they're doing that? How come? Have you ever thought about, do they even give licenses anywhere other than North America? Do they have a Chinese driver's license? Like, is there really a license? And if there is a license, is there a European that's giving them that? Or is it their government? Because if we say that we're Moors, then we're supposed to have our own government that gives us our own stuff. Just like Chinese have their government that'll give them stuff. But if you want to lose your nationality, you can naturalize into somebody else's stuff. But, at that point, you're only clothed with citizenship. You have no rights. That's privilege that they gave you that they can take away at any time. And people want you to be citizens of that. People want you to not even think about an 8-year-old boy driving a tractor. And take some time and actually digest that. Digest a 11-year-old boy, his job, what he does every day. 11 years old now. Remember, he's 11. His job is drive taxi. His job is drive a taxi. Does he have a license for that? And if he does have a license for that, he's 11. How's 11-year-old? Then 11-year-olds here should be able to get licenses. If they got license, it didn't seem like whoever was videotaping him backing up the Toyota 4Runner or whatever like that, they didn't seem worried at all about an 11-year-old getting behind the wheel of quote-unquote motor vehicle or whatever like that and driving off. But you're saying that right to travel is not real? Right? Do you see the incompetence? If an 11-year-old could drive a tractor, we have to ask the question. 1, do they have a license? And 2, if they do have a license, since when do 11-year-olds qualify to have licenses? Or is North America just out to lunch? So every time they bring up right to travel this and right to travel that, remind them of the little Chinese boy, Asiatic, he might have been Filipino or whatever, I'm discriminating right now, but the Asiatic boy, the yellow boy, that got into the tractor and drove the tractor, did he have a license? Because he did drive it. This is on tape, you know what I mean? It ain't. So we need to know from these right to travel is bad guys. do your research on it and find out if you had a license or whatever, because we want to know, you know what I mean? Because you guys talking BS about there's no such thing as right to travel, but then an 11-year-old is driving a truck by herself, like a truck, like the stuff that they say, you know, stay out of the blind spot on the highway because it'll run you over and not even know that you were there and stuff like that. Truck like that. A truck that if she, you know what I mean, does something wrong and then, you know what I mean, she'll crash into buildings and stuff. How come nobody's worried about, but, you know, certain people are incompetent. Either they're incompetent or somebody sent them to talk BS. It can't be anything else. Either they're supremely incompetent, right? Supremely incompetent, or somebody sent them. That's all it could be. It can't be nothing else. Because we got Moors in Milwaukee, we got Moors in Memphis, we got Moors in Cali. We got Moors in all over the place that exercise their birthright. Specifically, right to travel. And they don't got no issues. They don't got no issues. Haven't had any issues. Sorry, I don't have a license, you know what I mean? My right to travel card. I'll be right back. Stuff, have a nice day, just, you know, check that tail light. Or sorry to bother you. Or travel safe. Why they tell them travel safe? Well, they say that to drivers too. Drivers aren't traveling, they're driving. So that means they're telling on themselves. If they tell a driver, travel safe, driver's like, thanks officer. Driver just missed it like a dummy. Incompetent. It's real simple. Real simple. These people want to try to make you think that this is some advanced BS. Why? Because they want you to think that you have to sit down at the feet of the whatever. Now we're going to get this information, all right? He gave me some keys, all right, yes, okay, can't wait till next class because you're going to give us the other 3. How about you go study and find out all the keys, and when they start playing that little BS about give you 50 keys, ask them, I have a question, how come you guys keep talking about 3rd key all the time? Because when I did some research or whatever like that, I found out about, and then as soon as you see the muftis grab you up, get you out of there. Talk out and see what happens. Bet you that happens. You go there and you talk out. Ask them about something to do with a constitution or civics or something like that, and the mufti is going to come and they'll take you out. Because you can't play that stuff in their club. You can't. Their club is religious. Anything other than religion, that's against Noble Drew Ali, violating this and that, Act 5, Act 7, Act. Because they're playing club. It's cool, they can play club, but I'm not in the club. So you can't play club with me because I'm not in the club. Yeah, well, you have a charter for. Okay, Drew Ali said anybody wants a charter could get one. I wanted a charter, got one. Oh, they play games with you and they warrant of authority and stuff like that? They played you. Oh, you still 5 years? You still have warrant of authority, huh? 5 years, huh? Oh, you're not ready yet, huh? Okay. You fell for the okie doke. Played you out of your birthright over some charter. And they're supposed to just give to people. They're supposed to just give the charter to people. But nah, they don't want to do that. You have to qualify, you know what I mean? You have to sit at their feet. You have to be a reactive learner first. And if you're good, you know what I mean? You see, you notice You notice that certain people introduce themselves as Sheik, not Grand Sheik. How come? How come they're not introduced? They were saying Grand Sheik before. Oh, maybe they got, you know what I mean? Their coattail pull. Right? Maybe they got the tap on the shoulder. Maybe. Just maybe. Because really, it's just, you know what I mean? People used to call themselves Supreme Grand Sheik, and then they stopped saying that. Then they say Grand Sheik. Now stop saying that. Now they're just Sheik only now, right? Which means that, you know, somebody either gave him the little ding, 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 right? So now he's gonna go through the protocol and go through the stuff, and then, you know, in the next year or something like that, you're gonna hear that he's Grand Sheik, and now he has a paper, and then he's gonna be showing the paper to prove that he's a priesthood's dead, buddy. They played you. They played you. You guys need to stop this. Stop this. This is birthrights. This is not a club. And I'm telling you, I'm Moorish Science Temple. And, you know what I mean? There's maybe 5 Grand Sheiks that I vouch for amongst all these Grand Sheiks out here. So, you know, don't get it twisted. We're not against Moorish Science Temple. You know what I mean? We love the temple. We have one. That we also made a museum out of it. Out here. You know what I mean? So we love the temple. We rep Moorish Science Temple. You know what I mean? When the jail calls us and says, yeah, some prisoners are asking for stuff or whatever like that, and then we say, okay, Moorish Science Temple sends stuff to them. It's not Cujo or Amari or whatever. Moorish Science Temple. So we rep Moorish Science Temple. But we're not playing that this is some club. We're playing that you want some info? You want some real info to save yourself? You come to a class. Just come to one class. Take some notes, and then, you know what I mean? Right? 3 months later, man comes. Yo, what's this lot more? Where you been? That first class, man, I just finished doing my research. So now I can come to class 2 now. Because I didn't want to come until I go through all this stuff that you guys are talking about that I never heard before. True story. That's what it's about. Right? He went out, came, got his birthright, some references, left. Didn't see him for 3 months. And then when he came back, he was way different than that first day. This is just 3 months of dedicating yourself to some study, you know what I mean? Using the reference points that are given as, you know, trampoline, catapult, diving board, whatever, to wherever you end up to get what you're supposed to get. Right? Different being. 3 months. Totally different being. And they say this doesn't work. There's no benefit to the stuff that you guys are teaching and stuff like that. Right? And again, to also address with them with this whole BS about, you know, they say that they're a nation, but they want to be citizen. What are you going to be citizen of? Citizen of what? What are you going to be citizen of? So this is the game that they play, right? This is the game that they play. Remember, we're talking about people who are either incompetent or somebody sent them. Because if you got fez on, you can't be that incompetent with a fez on. You can't be that incompetent. No way. No way, Jose. Could you be that incompetent to make, you know, not make statements like, well, you know, I don't agree with right to travel. Whoever does it, you know, I mean, whatever. But, you know, we're going to be over here. We're going to get licenses and stuff like that. Not talk like that. Totally try to disregard right to travel incompetent. So they do this thing about citizen, right? That they're a citizen of something, right? You're supposed to be a citizen. Noble Drew Ali said citizens and all that stuff, right? Okay. So we have one definition in Black's Law, page 310. Citizen, a member of a free city or jural society, possessing all the rights and privileges which can be enjoyed by any person under its constitution and government, and subject to the corresponding duties. Quote-unquote citizens are members of community inspired to common goal who in associated relations submit themselves to rules of conduct for the promotion of general welfare and conservation of individual as well as collective rights. All right? So they'll take that. So, you know, we're part of a member of a citizen. Well, in the law dictionary, there's a definition for citizen under American law. So, based on how they talk, you know, the United States and United States of America, and okay, clearly they're not in Asia or Al-Kebalan, nothing like that. So they're in the Americas. So let's say citizen in American law. And then piece together why they keep saying citizen. And piece together why we keep saying we're not citizen. In American law, one who, under the Constitution and laws of the United States or of a particular state, is a member of the political community owing allegiance and being entitled to the enjoyment of full civil rights. So in American law, if you're a citizen, you are pro civil rights. If you claim that you're a citizen, you're down with civil rights. You're a member. You're a member. What are you a member of? I'm a member of Moors Temple. All right. Moors Temple teaches nationality, not citizenship. So if he said that you're national, he didn't say, okay, let's just check the 101 questionnaire. Question 12. What is his nationality? Moorish American. What is your nationality? Moorish American. Now, if you're a citizen, this should be asking you what's your citizenship. Because if you're a citizen, if you're one who under the Constitution and laws of the United States or of a particular state is a member of the political community owing allegiance and being entitled to the enjoyment of full civil rights, then that citizenship is coming from somewhere. Because you can't be a national citizen. Because citizens are pro-civil rights. Nationals are pro-inalienable rights. Citizens cannot exercise inalienable rights. They can only exercise privileges given to them by whoever clothed them with citizenship. So make it clear and make it known. Don't dare disrespect Noble Drew Ali and start calling yourself citizen. Just like don't dare disrespect your Noble Drew Ali and call yourself tribe and all this other BS. And these same civil rights, just like they said in the chat, been unconstitutional since the 1800s. So if civil rights has been unconstitutional since the 1800s, how is it that fez-wearing Muslims, Moorish Americans, are trying to convince you that you're a citizen? When a citizen is pro-civil rights, but civil rights has been unconstitutional since the 1800s. You really think these people are for your birthright? You really think these people aren't COINTELPRO? Aren't these alphabet agencies? I don't care if they don't call themselves that. Their actions prove that they're that. They don't gotta show me no yellow envelope. Their words let me know that they have an agenda. And keep in mind that none of these people are leaders. They're just some sheiks of various temples. They're just some sheiks. So what they need to do is take us to their leader. Who's you guys' leader? Because we want to know the Moors who sit back and let you guys talk so incompetent on the World Wide Web as Moorish Americans. Who taught you guys? And don't even say Noble Drew Ali. Don't even bring up Noble Drew Ali's name. Because we understand that these individuals that's been talking madness about Taj Street Bay and RV Bay publications, that they're reactive learners. So they've been at somebody's feet. We want to know who those people are. We don't want to hear nothing from anybody until they bring their leaders up, bring their names up, the temples that y'all belong to, whoever signed y'all sheikdom certificates, whoever signed y'all papers to be sheiks, whoever gave y'all warrant of authority. Who are those people? Whose signatures, whose autographs are on your delegation of authority documents for the Moorish Science Temple of America? That's what we want to know. Who sanctions your fraud of pushing privileges over rights? And guarantee, bet you, when you go check the record, it's going to be either the naturalizers or it's going to be either the reincarnated prophet guys, or it's going to be the late infiltrators of the Mealy Eel line, who we already told you what type of stuff certain Moors found in those people's house. And it doesn't have nothing to do with violence. Stuff that they found at people's house who call themselves supreme this and that. Right? So don't even let them play you on your birthright. You know what I mean? And tell these people, as soon as they start talking, calling certain people's name, ask them why don't they just go and tell them that they love them instead of playing like they don't like them. They know they love them. You know what I mean? But somebody put in the chat who are the grand body members, right? Now, from the club perspective, they got about 10 or something different grand bodies. Because remember, you have the line of the reincarnated people that's gonna have their grand body. Then you have the Kirkman Bay line that's gonna have their grand body. Then you have the Emilia line, they're gonna have their grand body, right? Because remember, it's still separate groups of Moors. You know what I mean? That are playing the tug of war of who controls the Moorish movement when the Moorish movement is outside of the temple. The Moorish movement is not these branches of whatever. Remember, the grand body is the Moorish nation. The grand body is not some group of these adepts. Not in this time, because again, we're dealing with infiltration. So everybody has to be cleaned out and new people put in before we start talking about grand body as far as Moorish Science Temple of America and whatever is concerned. Like, anybody who's in there now, get those people out, get some new people in there, and then remember, that's only, because remember, that's been a club for 80 years. So you have to be a member in order to be involved in those proceedings. Because it's a club. And in the club, there's few little pockets of individuals that aren't doing the club, even though they have the same name and all that. Because they realize that this is not a club. This is about bringing the people into the constitutional fold by giving them knowledge. And once you give them the knowledge, leave them alone. That's why Noble Drew Ali said, leave the door open. People are Moors already. They just need the info. They're already Moors. When you come declare your nationality, well, you have to have a nationality to declare. If you're going to proclaim your nationality, you have to have a nationality to proclaim. What's your nationality? I'm a Moorish American. Now you have it? Because that guy asked? No, before he asked you, you had it. That's birthright. And club doesn't give you this. Club doesn't give you this. Again, go check the record. From our inception in this, right? From our inception in this, right? We've been told, RV Bay Publications, Taj Tariq Bay, and then trickle down from there after you finish with those two. Our inception was use those as your reference points. Don't use too much other stuff, because you know what I mean. We're not gonna get into it, but you want to learn something about Moors? There's two good reference points right there. All right, cool. You know what I mean? Since y'all put us on, gave us charter or whatever, we're gonna go with that. And then now, same people who gave us charter or whatever like that, some of these people who were around during the time when we got our charter, that were there when they had their own plates and all that stuff, talking crazy now about there's no such thing as right to travel. When they were there in the car with the Moorish plates on it. Oh, but now, so something happened, you know what I mean? We don't know if it was yellow envelope, we don't know what, but we know that something happened, right? We know that something happened and there was a shift, you know? Brother Shabazz L. More with the taxes and stuff. Islam. I have found a writ on RV Bay that explains Moorish American status in the de facto jurisdiction of Canada. Thank Allah and the Prophet for arranging my victory when I thought there was only defeat. Thanks to subordinate Tempo number 5 Canaanland Moors and especially Kudro Adwa El and Amari El Bey who signed the writ. I am confident that when I sit down and study this writ, I will no longer suffer violation on account of ignorance and lack of knowledge. I suggest all Moors in Kananta read this writ. Right? So that was just our proclamation that we put out. Actually, I should have a copy here. Oh yeah. So that was our judicial notice and proclamation that we published out here for the Moors in Canaanland, under the guidance of the family, who, we might add, because of us studying the reference points that we were given, we realized that, if it's our proclamation and this is our estate, then we should be making that known in our paper. Why are you going to use somebody else's paper? Why am I going to do 300 a line for these guys' paper when we could take all that fiat and just put out our own paper? Right? So instead of put our own paper and put BS in it or whatever, you know what I mean? We put the proclamation that the so-called officials of this jurisdiction was sent, sent to the 7 people and stuff like that. Same concept, but we did it for all the Moors, not as, the individual proclamation or whatever, right? So that's what it was that the Moor found, and he'll study that and get his squaring up going on. So Islam for that. Islam, need help. I'm starting a business. How do I navigate the colonizers in this matter? Awaiting your reply. Well, like we tell people, if you're new to this information, if you're new to this information, through finding out about, identity fraud, birth certificate fraud, driver's license fraud, and all these things, right? The mentality that you're supposed to have at that point is that anything that you do with these people who you know are a fraud now, you reserve your rights. Right? All rights reserved on the line, and then sign over the all rights reserved. We're going to start a business. They say registration, whatever like that. Okay, cool. All rights reserved. And then sign over that. Do your little whatever, because remember, if you're talking about business, the objective of the business is so that the liability doesn't fall on you. Right? The issue is us not having superior knowledge, but wanting to do things that require having superior knowledge. There's a catch-22. So in order to deal with the catch-22, reserve your rights. And while you're studying, you can still carry on doing whatever it is that you wanted to do or whatever, right? But as you get knowledge, and you digest what you got, then you apply. You don't get knowledge, just apply it. Because this stuff's not going to work. You're going to be mad at the site because the site told you to do this, and the site's your dumbass trying to do things premature. There's no doing things premature, right? So make sure that reservation of rights is done. Even if you're using free national name, reserve your rights. Don't play around with these people. These people are criminals. So deal with them accordingly. Right? Because again, until you get to that level, until you get to that level of being what you know with this information, it is best that you don't try stuff. Right? You better know what you're trying. You're not trying to see if something. Because you might not appreciate the response you get when you try stuff. You might not like the response. And then don't complain because, you know, that's what you get for trying stuff. Right? You are not going to completely master this realm in this life. You can come back if you want to, you know what I'm saying? You could come back if you want to. Try to master the stuff, right? Or you can go to some next level. What, you know what I mean? It's up to you. Right? But the objective is that the next generation suffers less. The next generation right now is suffering more. But, you know, the forces are working that it's not really like that, because they're getting knowledge of self and they're reading and they have information at their fingertips for real. Right? So the shift is still occurring. The shift is still happening. But we have to get out of this mentality of wanting to see stuff for us. Right? Noble Drew Ali did the things that he did for us and beyond. The stuff that he did in the 1920s, he did for the generations after him. Not for just his time period. So this is the same way that we have to look at it. The fact that he was doing it for posterity is why he was successful. The fact that he wasn't doing it for himself to look like the guy who did I'm Noble Drew Ali, I'm the one that saved all the Negroes and stuff like that. Right? That's why it's Rotarian. It's humanitarian for a reason. Because this is for you to do for others. And again, you're not going to do for others if you don't know. You better know. You know, starting up stuff and want to own this and own, that's not. We got Negro minds because of this mental slavery. The Negro stuff is not dead. You know, fezzes mean anything. Got a nationality card to mean something. You got people claiming that they're grand whatever right now doing Negro stuff. So, slow down. At this point, anything you sign, reserve your rights. I don't care what it is you're doing. So reserve your rights. Start there. And then go study. Because trust that this is not some free ride. That this is not free ride. Sorry. But there's no free ride. Like you're getting out what you put in as far as studying is concerned. When you don't study, you talk like these jokers who say that they represent Moorish Science Temple of America, but they don't deal with, you know, the real teachings, right? They deal with an aspect and say that that's the all and be all. In no way statutes are the all and be all. No way that ordinances and codes are the all and be all. No way. No way. It's impossible. Doesn't even equate to common sense. Again, with Noble Jwali's writings that were supposed to be read every meeting, they're trying every weak mind out here. They're trying every weak mind. You know what I mean? And there's a big difference when the weak minds get RV Bay publications versus one of these club Moorish Science Temple guys. Monet Goody. Islam Brother Kudro, I was wondering, were the first 8 presidents of the United States of America Continental Congress brutish Moors that the Al-Moroccan Moors gave the Continental Congress seats to? Now, always remember, and the thing that trips Moors up is forgetting that the Continental Congress came out of them studying the law of the Great Peace of the Iroquois. So it's like when Moors say, we're going to start something, and there was the United States Republic for Moors. All this stuff that we're talking about, United States of America, Continental Congress, those weren't things set up for Moors. Like, those weren't things for Moors to, because you can't be a citizen. You could be custodian. You could be a ward. You could be chattel property. But you can't be a citizen. You can't be a citizen. So don't get caught up in, oh, well, you know, the $2 bill, the guy underneath the thing, and then that's a brother, so there was a Moor in the... Don't get lost. He was just there, just like, you know what I mean, the Moor was in all the pictures with George Washington or whatever. Like, he was just there. Because they can't do it without having the air. They need the air. They need the melanin being at the center of everything that's going on. They need the black dot. If they don't have the black dot, they have nothing. You know, Benjamin Banneker, same thing. They need the black dot. He wasn't part of their stuff. He was an outsider. He was somebody they brought in because they realized that he was gonna bring him in. Right? All the stuff that he was dealing with, that's not something he brought that from Africa or whatever. So don't get lost. You can just do your research on that. You can Google that. Which goes back again to the thing of, sitting at the feet. You're gonna come back and study, just like the mothers do on the show, you know what I mean? Well, we found out about this, whatever. Hey, how about you go out, find out some stuff, and then bring back the stuff that you found? Right? So, we're going to look for the email about what you found out about the first 8 presidents of the Continental Congress. Right? And then you're going to, do your little report, what you found, and we'll read it out for class. Right? Because we're all teachers and learners. And good teachers give homework. And good learners do their homework. And study. I don't take this as some joke thing, some jump and sound. Right? Sister Danette Greer. I was linked to the matriarch page of rvbaypublications.com through a Facebook connection, and oh my, did you just light a fuse with this information? Real talk. This is what my soul wanted. I knew this before I read it. Cannot tell you how, but reading this was more affirmation than information. I have been awakened to my goddess, feminine, divine. I have been reading on Tehuti and natural laws, and it's like reading my own diary. I know this is my birthright, and this information has further illuminated my journey, confirming more of my inner truth than I can document here. When the information contained in that link is read with the singular eye, the wisdoms just jump off the pages. I'm honored and grateful for your reflecting this back to me and wanting you to know. Thank you so much for packaging this information as you did, and many blessings for a wonderful holiday season and new year. Right? So, the sister was on Facebook, on the search. Right? They sent her to no temple or nothing like that. For what? For them to taint her perspective? No. She's not getting no temple yet. First thing you're gonna do, sis, and then other sisters, mothers, or whatever out there, is that you're gonna go to the matriarch page on rvbaypublications.com. Before you go anywhere else about anything, you're gonna go there first. All the females, all the women, all the mothers, all the matriarchs. If you have gone there, go back there again and be reinvigorated because you missed some stuff. Trust me. And then when those sparks go off, right? When those sparks go off, when you read that matriarch page, right? Send your testimonial. Canaanlandguide@gmail.com. CANANLANDGUIDE@gmail.com. And let us know what happened when you read the matriarch page as female, sister, mother. I'm just curious because, like, this just sister just just today. No conversation, you know what I mean? Nothing crazy. Just, oh, you know what, sis? I see that you're looking for information. No, you check this page right here. And then this is what she came back with. About I know this is my birthright, and this information has further illuminated my journey, confirming more of my inner truth than I can document here. That was from her going to rvbaypublications.com, who all these clowns are talking against. Right? I have been awakened to my goddess feminine divine. I have been awakened to that, which means that she was completely oblivious to the fact of her goddess feminine divine. And if she wasn't oblivious, she didn't have the perspective that she had after she got off that page. Something totally different is going on right now with her mindset and how she's moving forward, because of recognizing from a matriarch, remember, right? Because you know, RV Bay, that's matriarch. From a matriarch, and having a totally different perspective moving forward with regard to her birthright. Now she can go to a temple. And as soon as they start doing that patriarchal BS that they like to do, that's going to be your sign, right? Because remember, right? Number 37, question 37. Did the angel give to the child that was called Jesus a holy name? Yes, but it cannot be used by those who are slaves to sin. 38. What is an angel? An angel is the thought of Allah manifested in human flesh. 39. What are angels used for? To carry messages to the four corners of the world, to all nations. What is our prophet to us? He is an angel of Allah who is sent to bring us the everlasting gospel of Allah. What is the everlasting gospel? It is the saving power that comes from Allah through our ancient fathers by his prophet. Angel is a thought of Allah manifested in human flesh that carries the messages to the four corners of the world. Go you hear on the show, on the class, every week, the mothers shouting out to the four corners of the world where Moors are. Here, they go to the continent, they go to Europe, they go to Asia. Discovery how to connect, communicate, and heal with the angels. The Power of Angels. Joanne Brokus. The Power of Angels. Right. Let's see how, spooky these Moors are. Let's see if they'll talk about these type of stuff. Cause they'll talk about Noble Ali and all that stuff, but let's see if they really are down with the stuff. Millions of people around the world have a fascination with angels and believe that they are real. Many of these same people have had their own personal encounters with angelic beings, and their lives have been positively changed because of this. Angels exist among us, and they carry out God's will to help serve humanity for our greatest good. Oh, so you ain't seeing no angels, you doing BS. You're only going to see angels if you're doing for the greatest good. What's going to be the greatest good? Going back to the state of mind of your ancient foremothers and forefathers so you can start being yourself under the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, which should be practiced by everybody in the world. And keep in mind the motto, uplifting fallen humanity, which is the most good that you could be. We have our very own guardian angel who will stay with us throughout our entire lifetime. And we also have access to a host of heavenly angels and mighty and powerful archangels. Angels will help us whenever we reach out to a higher power and ask for spiritual assistance. We are never alone, as we have many unseen spiritual friends who walk with us along our life's path. All we need to do is learn how to listen to the helpful guidance they offer. Young children quite naturally listen to the voices of their guardian angels because they are still pure of heart. They haven't yet begun to form an unhealthy beliefs or limited thoughts, unlike most adults, that would interfere with their spiritual connection. So somebody saying there's no such thing as right to travel, that's limited beliefs. Because 11-year-old drove a tractor. Fool. Limited beliefs, and then want people to follow that limited mindset. Lack of potential. Noble Drew talked about it in the Quran. Inconstancy of knowledge. People who refuse to study and always have something to say to people who study. Like, we don't know what we're talking about. We're the ones that's studying. What do you mean debate something? Like, if we're going to debate about right to travel, we're just going to bring up all the Moors who exercise right to travel. Debate's done. Like, what are you going to debate? How you going to say, how is it wrong if they never got no tickets, they don't have no jail time, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Why are you showing me negative stuff when there's Moors that don't have any issues exercising right to travel? Zero issues. Redneck places, all that. Doesn't matter. They got no issues exercising right to travel. Debate's done. As soon as we bring those Moors up. Why? How come they can exercise right to travel and all that stuff? They are guardian angels. Because they're vibrating on such a pure frequency that even highwaymen don't want nothing to do with them. And the goal of every Moorish American is to have their self there, in that place, where everything you do is like that. Everything you do, he's pure of heart. Give him anything that he wants. Or her. It's not a game out here. They are also still very closely connected to the spirit world and their guardian angels who are assigned to watch over them as they learn to adapt to their new physical lives and families. Right? So the book on angels, and then it goes into, let's get some chapters so you could see, where this Joanne Brockus, the European, where Europeans going on some angels. People who's playing like they don't want to know astrology and they don't want to know all this stuff. CMB brought this and that and he kicked out the temple and stupid people. Chapter 1, angels exist. Chapter 2, healing and preparing your vibration. Chapter 3, angels, signs and messages. Chapter 4, how to hear the angels. Chapter 5, sensing the angels. Chapter 6, how to see the angels. Chapter 7, heaven's mighty seven, the archangels. What more you want? What more you want? You know the seven on the Quran is for the archangels as well as anything else relative to seven. Don't forget Blog Talk Radio. Blog Talk Radio. New number 319-527-6751. 319-527-6751. MHHS Eyes Wide Open on Blog Talk Radio. Islam to all the Moors. Islam to all the Moors. Peace and love to you all. Islam to the 11 Moors that are on right now. You know what I mean? Good one. Islam to all the Moors worldwide. Islam to all the Moors that's going to see this on YouTube whenever it gets uploaded. Keep in mind, Noble Ali was dealing with birthrights. He wasn't playing some club games that these guys like to play. So don't worry, let them play their club religion stuff. You know, it's cool. It's not wrong and whatever, you know, once they stay in their jurisdiction, and don't try to muddy the waters. As soon as they start trying to muddy the waters, here we come, you know what I mean, to settle the dust, right? There's not going to be no blowing dust, keeping Moors distracted and all that stuff, you know what I mean, immediately. So start calling out these frauds and know that once you're studying and you continue to study and take it serious, don't just, you know what I mean, like take it serious, you know what I mean, because this is for your spiritual, mental, emotional, every type of enlightenment. And that's what getting information is for. So don't be deterred from it because you hear people talking crazy that you shouldn't study certain stuff because for whatever reason. Especially when it comes to law and rights. Don't let them fool you out of your birthright again, because they did in past lives. Why we're here dealing with this right now, right? So Islam to all the Moors. See what we got right here. All right, so we'll just do our close out. Islam to all the Moors, peace and love. Again, RV Bay Publications, the online university. Don't even get it twisted because people are talking stupid. Don't even get it twisted. That is the online university if you want to know anything relative to Moors. Learn. Remember, not sit at the feet. Not reactive learning. No sitting at the feet. Those days are over. You're about to go study and learn what you want to know. There ain't nobody telling you anything. You know what I mean? Or we're going to start doing reference points only. 5 on the left, 2 on the right. Allah, the Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Islam. Islam, Moors. And we'll just close out with, since we're Moors, we know that we're Moors and all that. I'm a Moor, some call me Saracen, some Muslim. Europe had some dark age issues, I solved them. Using Moorish science, I'm stating the obvious. Rapper drone stepped up from Kush to Molly blunts. Unawakened, unconscious, unaware Moors. Won't accept the fact, plus you looked up black or more. Moors the custodian of Kemetic Nubians, carrying the marvelous light, the path Negroes to Nubians. Saying I'm a Moor, not colored or black. I'm a Moor, Seti or Enki, they can't change that. Cause I know their hands don't extend past Allah's wisdom. I'm a Moor, no doubt a contradiction. Return to my own vine and fig tree. Nationality, a mind frame if you're with me. Reclaim your ancestral mind and shout.
It's mine, and if you don't like it, get
out of here, man.
I'm a Moor. Red fez, black tats, elders of my class, not black or Indians. I repeat, I'm a Moor. Indigenous to the farthest west. Say we were great, still they say we the best. Hear what I say, I'm a Moor. Yes, it's true, if not for Drew Ali, most of y'all would've still been asleep. Now you could tell them I'm more than you could ever wish you thought you would be. 3 centuries deep in Moorish science I read. Study, I'm a Moor.
Rope on a peg, stuck in the shore. Oceanographic device anchored to sea floors.
I'm a Moor.
Goldfish of China and Japan. Veil tail variety, brushing the cold water plants.
I'm a Moor.
Stretches of lands, jungles are where sand blows. Reptilian species and amphibians homes.
I'm a Moor.
Defending Drew Ali, that's my mission. To put securely in place or desired position.
I'm a Moor.
Ancestral mindset, not thinking like the hybrids. Can't hide from a 10, so they mess with the climate. Mess with the minds, mess with the foods, get violent. About more subjugation, your black leaders are quiet. Signed on to King Alfred, but they want you to riot. Pushing dogma as religion and want you to buy it. Most never do it, but they want you to try it. Too many have knowledge of self on the shelves and won't apply it.
I'm a Moor. Red fez, black tats, elders of my class, not black or Indians. I repeat, I'm a Moor. Indigenous to the farthest west. Say we were great, still they say we the best. Hear what I say, I'm a Moor. Yes, it's true, if not for Drew Ali, most of y'all would've still been asleep. Now you could tell them I'm more than you could ever wish you thought you would be. 3 centuries deep in Moorish science I read. Study, I'm a Moor.